Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Brian Holman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Brian Holman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we sit down with Scarlett Hagens from Kansas Livestock Association to talk about the 2016 KLA Convention. And Inside Kansas Ag, Farm Bureau talks to us about the STEM curriculum, and Kansas Soybean informs us on soybeans budgeting process for 2018. And in news you need to know, we get our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association. We'll look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by
The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. KansasSoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Kansas Weed Commission. Leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for weeds. Online at kswheat.com. Kansas Livestock Association. Supporting our members' business interests to meet consumers' demands. KLA.org.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. The Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement has cleared its main hurdle in Japan's parliament, but not without controversy. The TPP ratification bill, which is backed by Japanese Prime Minister Abe, was passed by a special committee despite protests from opposition lawmakers who said it was moving through too quickly. The bill is expected to receive final approval in Japan's parliament early next week. For the first time since 2003, U.S. beef is headed to Israel, and a central Nebraska beef plant is the first U.S. facility approved to make those shipments. At a news conference at the W.R. Reserve Kosher Beef Plant in Hastings, Agricultural Director Greg Eibach says the Israel market is a high-end market with good growth potential. Currently, they are importing about $400 million worth of beef from all over the globe, especially South America. Israel announced earlier this year that it was ready to resume imports of U.S. beef, which stopped after the BSE discovery in 2003. This year's U.S. corn and soybean harvests are getting closer to wrapping up, from planting to development to harvest. This year's production has varied widely depending on weather. As of Sunday, 75% of this year's corn crop is harvested, matching the 5-year average pace. 87% of soybeans are harvested compared to 85% typically this time of year. 86% of winter wheat is planted, a little slower than normal, and 70% has emerged, a little faster than average. 58% of this year's winter wheat is in good to excellent shape, down 1% on the week. And in local news, researchers at Kansas State University have identified a new swine circovirus. Its discovery is auspicious as it was related to swine circovirus, porcine circovirus type 2, also known as PCV2, and it has had devastating history in the swine production. The new circovirus discovered by Benjamin House and Rachel Polanski, who is with the Kansas State Veterinarian Diagnostic Laboratory, along with collaborators at Kansas State University, Iowa State University, and Smithfield Hog Production. Habitat conservation practices make a difference for lesser prairie chickens. That's the finding of a recent scientific study, the first part of a multi-year study described in a new report from the Lesser Prairie Chicken Initiative. The study identified a new model for assessing lesser prairie chicken populations, and it shows encouraging evidence that NRCS recommended conservation practices through LPCI are working. Learn more about these findings by downloading the report that is part of the Science to Solution series offered through NRCS, LPCI, and Sage Grouse Initiative. Kansas State University scientists say they have isolated and cloned a gene that provides resistance to head blight or wheat scab, a crippling disease that caused $7.6 billion in losses in the U.S. wheat fields between 1993 and 2001. Their findings are published online in the journal Nature Genetics. The article details about 20 years of research that includes scientists in China and several American universities. The project was funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Wheat and Barley Scab Initiative and the National Science Foundation. Up next in our Ag Feature, we sit down with Scarlett Hagens from the Kansas Livestock Association to talk about the 2016 KLA Convention. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Livestock Association, supporting our members' business interests to meet consumers' demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. Grassandgrain.com. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business, providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Thanks for staying with us this morning. We're at the KLA office here in Topeka. We're joined by Scarlett. Scarlett, thanks for having us this morning. 104 years of convention for KLA. And I made the mistake we were talking before we came on camera, and I said, what is this, like 77th? And she was like, no.
Close, but no.
104th. It's a long time. KLA has really served the state of Kansas and the ranchers and beef producers for a long time.
They have. We were actually established in 1894, so since then we have been serving our members and the livestock producers of Kansas. So that's pretty exciting, and we're excited about our convention coming up. You know, it's going to be November 30th through December 2nd there in Wichita at the Hyatt Regency and Century II Convention Center. So, and Brian, you've been out there, you know what goes on out there, and it's a lot. It's a jam-packed 3 days. It'll be a lot of educational sessions, a lot of good speakers, some policy development. But also we'll try to throw in a little fun there as well.
Generally you have fun at least one or two of those nights.
Right.
Not only that, but the trade show, and that's the one thing that I've always enjoyed going to, is you see some of the new technologies that are coming out, and you see some stuff that as a producer you may look at and go, oh, I never thought about using that, but you come out to the trade show and you really kind of get a hands-on experience of some of
That's right, and actually a little bit new this year. You know, normally our trade show runs just pretty much Thursday, and we're going to actually open it up on Wednesday afternoon, have a welcome reception at the trade show, which is new, and so our members get a little bit of extended time in the trade show, and the folks at the trade show get a little bit of extended time with our members.
Well, not only that, if you haven't had Cole Hall ice cream in a while. If you haven't had Cole Hall ice cream in a while, it's a great place at the trade show to come out and get some Cole Hall ice cream. Plenty of it, and you get all that you want. Some of the highlights for the trade show this year, I know we've always got Roto Mixes out there, and some people like that. You've always got Merck and some of the other pharmaceutical companies out there. Anything else new to the trade show? Well,
we will have what we're calling a Cattleman's Crawl dinner on Thursday night. So various booths will host certain items. So you may go to one booth and get wine or beer. One will have chocolate chip cookies. Some will have popcorn. And so we kind of encourage folks to crawl through the trade show, talk with these folks, and then we'll also, of course, have a beef dinner down there as well. That's another thing you get a lot of at KLA Convention is beef, which is great. We have a lot of good meals down there.
Registration, go online, register?
Yes, they can register online at KLA.org, so they can register online, or you can go on, if you prefer, to print off a document. They can print it off and fill it out and send it in.
And not only that, I'm sure there's hotel packages, because I've seen several times there are hotel packages.
There are. All that information is online. Hotel rooms, I will say, is selling out really fast, and the headquarters is sold out. But there's some other options right around in there, so we encourage members to get on, if you haven't booked your room, to get on and do that.
Perfect. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to run through some of the highlights from the convention. You're watching Kansas Ag Report, and we'll see you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farmers and ranchers since 1919. KFB.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail. Keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. Grassandgrain.com. Kansas Weed Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Thanks for staying with us. We're at the KLA office, joined by Scarlett with Kansas Livestock Association. 104th Convention and 45th Annual Trade Show coming up late November, early December. Every year you guys elect a new president. This is your 100th president this year. And so tell us a little bit about him.
Absolutely. So our incoming president, current president-elect, but will be voted in December, will be David Clausen. He's from out at Plains, Kansas, and he's a cattle producer, farmer out there. And so we're excited. He will be our 100th president, so that's a new title for him as well, but we're excited to have him, and he'll, of course, be following up Matt Perrier, who is our current president.
Right. I've talked about this a couple of times today, which is a new administration coming in, not only in the state of Kansas. Of course, we're not having a new governor, but we've got lots and lots of new people coming in to fill House and Senate seats here in the state of Kansas. Policy is a big deal to Kansas Livestock Association. Figuring out the direction you're going to go for the next year, and then also implementing that direction. A big part of the convention.
Absolutely. That's really the goal of our convention, is to develop the policy that will guide our KLA staff throughout the next year, especially as we go into session in January. So our members come in, they go to various committee meetings, whether it's Natural Resources or Animal Health and ID. Then our councils meet as well, Stock Growers Council, Cattle Feeders Council, and develop policy that's specific to certain issues and specific to certain segments. And then that will be voted on by our general membership on Friday morning, December 2nd. And then that's what our staff will use to guide our lobbying efforts in Kansas and in DC.
Well, not only that, but I know one thing everybody would probably bring up is the price of cattle, and CattleFax has always attended the convention and given a nice presentation on kind of where the industry is going this year. Is that the same? It
is. Actually, Randy Block, Chief Executive Officer of CattleFax, will be our featured speaker during Beef Industry University on Thursday morning. And like you said, the market's been pretty tough here. And so I think our members are going to be really interested to see kind of what the market outlook will be for the next coming year. And Randy will hopefully be able to give some insight into that.
Well, not only that, I know Dr. Thompson's always a big part of that. You've got the feed derivative coming up the first of the year. That's going to be a hot topic I'm sure you guys are going to talk about.
Right. We'll have an antibiotic panel on Friday morning. So we'll have K-State's veterinarian, Dr. Mike Apley, who has done a lot of research in that respect. And then we'll also have former USDA Undersecretary of Agriculture for Food Safety. We'll kind of talk on the regulatory aspect of antibiotics and that issue. And so I think it's going to be a very informative panel that Friday morning.
Website where everybody can get all the information.
KLA.org.
Perfect. And go register and make sure you get your hotel rooms and all that.
Get your hotel rooms quick. They're filling up.
I will tell you the same thing that I said about Farm Bureau today. If you are a cattle producer in the state of Kansas and you are not a member of KLA, you're crazy. The work that goes on here is unbelievable. The time that they spend not only at the state capitol, but on the federal level supporting what your needs and wants are, it is well worth the money. It is well worth the membership to be a member of KLA. So, you're watching Kansas Ag Report, and we'll see you in just a minute. If you would like to advertise your business on Kansas Ag Report, give us a call, 785-580-3287. 3287.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
STEM is a curriculum based on the idea of educating students in 4 specific disciplines: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. STEM is more than just a grouping of subject areas. It's a movement to develop the skills students need to not only be competitive in the 21st century workforce, but to develop a set of skills they can use in all areas of their lives. STEM isn't a standalone class. It's a way to intentionally incorporate different subjects across an existing curriculum. According to Dr. Christopher Elliott, Director of STEM for Metropolitan Nashville Public Schools, agriculture may be the answer when it comes to teaching STEM. He notes teaching science and math with a silo approach doesn't reflect the real world and often falls short of giving students the ability to problem solve as critical thinkers. One thing is certain, in order to survive, students need food, fiber, and shelter, all of which are provided by agriculture. Surprisingly, though, most students don't seem to make that connection, and furthermore, many teachers don't recognize how agriculture can be a useful context to teach STEM. Organizations like the American Farm Bureau Federation offer numerous resources for teachers to incorporate ag and STEM concepts into the classroom. The bottom line is this: agriculture is a great option for teachers to engage students in STEM concepts in a way that directly and indirectly impacts their lives.
By the October 14 deadline, the Kansas Soybean Commission received nearly 75 research and education proposals for fiscal year 2018, which begins July 1, 2017. Commissioners reviewed each during a November 9 conference call. At their next face-to-face meeting, they will hear more about select ideas for breeding, production, and environmental programs, livestock and human nutrition and food safety studies, value-added projects to utilize large quantities of soybeans, and marketing and transportation programs. Those proposers will make formal presentations December 1 through 3 in Topeka or via teleconferencing. Each day's meeting at the Kansas Soybean Building will begin at 8 a.m. Discussions also will include current projects, market development activities, educational programs, and administrative items. To obtain a complete agenda or suggest other topics, contact Commission Administrator Kenlyn Johannes at 877-KS-SOYBEAN. That's 877-577-6923. The Commission, established in 1977, includes 9 volunteer farmer commissioners elected by their peers. They oversee investments of the legislated soybean checkoff assessment to improve the profit opportunities for all Kansas soybean farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org on the web.
This segment brought to you by Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farmers and ranchers since 1919. KFB.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Kansas Wheat Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business, providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
The Federation of State Beef Councils, which includes the Kansas Beef Council, will invest nearly $1 million in reserve funds to boost beef demand in light of low cattle prices and increasing supplies. The group's executive committee moved quickly to approve the additional funding in hopes of sparking demand at a time when ranchers and feeders are feeling a squeeze on the bottom line. State Beef Council partners communicated to national leadership the importance of taking every opportunity to use checkoff resources to build beef demand in the face of cattle market challenges. The $940,000 investment from Federation reserves will be spent on various international and national beef promotions. One will involve the U.S. Meat Export Federation partnering with supermarket chains in Japan to move an estimated 6.9 million pounds of additional beef. Another USMEF project with Korean supermarket and second-tier discount chains is expected to incrementally move about 5.8 million pounds of beef. Dollars channeled through NCBA will be used to encourage millennials in larger cities to make greater beef purchases at the supermarket. The NCBA promotion will use Ibotta, a smartphone app that shares beef information with consumers, then allows them to obtain cash rebates based on retail beef purchases. Producer leaders identified these investments as a chance to quickly make a positive difference in beef demand.
Good morning. I'm Eric Oosterhouse with Paragon Ag Advisors. Well, the big news this last week was obviously the presidential election. There was a lot of debate leading into the election as to how the grain markets were going to react based on which candidate won. As producers, we tend to gauge the markets solely based on the fundamentals. However, the fund money can have a large impact on the direction of the markets. It is a combination of factors that drive our markets, and as producers, we do tend to focus only on the fundamental side. A tremendous amount of cash has been on the sidelines leading into this election, so don't be surprised to see the markets react, even if no surprises occur on the fundamental side at all. So, we now have our new president. We'll have to watch the markets a few weeks to gauge exactly what the big money thinks of our choice. Don't be surprised to see volatile movements in the meantime as the market adjusts to our new political reality. On the fundamental side of the equation, harvest is estimated to be near 90% done on beans and 85% on corn. Many feel that out of the two, it's the soybeans that have been sold the most going into the end of the year. This does set us up for an eventual improvement in bean basis, but likely that will take some time as our strong export numbers likely show that some of our future demand has already been pre-bought. Wheat has been trading its range. It looks as if patience is still the course of action there. If you do have any questions, give us a call at 888-452-8751. Have a productive day.
Closed captioning brought to you by
The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. KansasSoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Kansas Wheat Commission. Leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for wheat. Online at kswheat.com. Kansas Livestock Association. Supporting our members' business interests to meet consumers' demands. KLA.org.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Brian Holman, and thanks for watching.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
You need a partner that you can count on to be there for your business. Providing a depth of understanding to risk management issues so you don't have to. A knowledgeable support team located in your area, delivering products and services to make you more successful.
Premier Farm and Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm and Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.